Have you ever had one of those moments where a therapist or even a random conversation makes you go, oh shit, that's me? That right there, that's insight. One of the most important parts of therapy and personal growth. But here's the thing, insight alone doesn't fix anything. And knowledge and insight is not the same thing. Just because you know something doesn't mean you have insight into yourself. Today, we're going to talk about what insight actually is, why it matters, and how to turn those light bulb moments into real change. Hey, I'm Kayla Riley, licensed therapist, entrepreneur, and mama, just trying to keep my shit together like the rest of you. Welcome to Shrink Shots, quick hit bonus episodes packed with bite-sized insights on relationships, parenting, and more. No fluff, just real talk. Let's do this. In therapy, insight is that moment when something just clicks. It's when you connect the dots between your past and your present, your patterns and your problems. It's like, oh my gosh, I do that because my parents never let me say no. Or wait, I push people away because I'm afraid that they're gonna leave first. Or damn, I thought I was being chill, but I was actually just people pleasing that whole time. These moments can be eye-opening, validating, and a little bit embarrassing sometimes because once you see it, you can't unsee it. You have your oh shit moment, and then what? Here's where people get stuck. Insight is one step, it's awareness. But if you don't do anything with it, it just sits there like an unopened email from your therapist. Knowing you self-sabotage does not stop you from doing it. Realizing you have an anxious attachment style doesn't magically make you secure. Understanding your trauma response doesn't heal the trauma, right? Insight without action is just intellectualizing your problems, and it's happening all over the place. I'm seeing it all the time. People are like, oh yeah, I'm, in therapy, I know that XYZ. It's like, okay, yeah, you know it, but what are you doing about it? So if you're intellectualizing your problems, it makes you feel like you're doing something, but nothing actually changes when the boots hit the ground. So how do you take those aha moments and actually make them count? Number one, pause before the pattern plays out. So the next time you catch yourself in an old pattern, snapping at your partner or avoiding a hard conversation or over apologizing, stop and say, wait, I see what's happening here. The goal isn't to fix it overnight, it's to interrupt the autopilot responses. Step 2, test out a small shift. If you realize you always say yes when you want to say no, practice pausing and say, hey, let me think about it overnight. If you tend to withdraw when you're upset, try saying, hey, I need a minute, but I don't want to shut down. Small changes create new neural pathways, and this is literally how the brain rewires itself. I know for a while, I knew that I was always saying yes to things or making fast impulse-based decisions, reactive decisions. So I implemented a 24-hour rule. When I'm doing some kind of big decision or something is upsetting to me, I will not respond or make a decision for 24 hours. And that 24-hour rule is like my new policy, and I can blame my policy, right? Hey, I would love to think about that, but I have a 24-hour policy when it comes to big decisions. I love it. Even salesmen can't fight that one. Number 3, check your inner voice. After an insight, your brain may hit you with, well, great, now I see my issue, but I suck at fixing it. Instead, try, okay, I see the pattern, that's progress, now it's one small way I can respond differently. And last but not least, give yourself grace. Change doesn't happen just because you understand the problem. It happens when you start showing up for yourself in new ways, and you do that over and over and over again. And that's why the saying, progress, not perfection, is a really nice way to offer yourself a little grace. Insight is super powerful, but it's just the beginning. Your real growth happens in the moments when you notice the pattern, disrupt it, and decide to practice something different. So next time you have an oh shit moment, don't just sit with it, do something about it. Boom, now you've got something to think about. If this hits home, share it with a friend or tag me on Instagram at notyourtherapist.kayla. Shrink Shots drop every Tuesday and Thursday with 10 episodes in each series. So hit follow and don't miss your next dose of no BS therapy wisdom. See you next time.